survivor. I'm a survivor, survivor. Who will be the ultimate survivor? Let's find out when you spend a day in our shoes. All you creators, our sanctuary is waiting. Who will win the title? Well, it could be you. Survivor, survivor. I'm a survivor.
And hi to hello. Hip, hip, hooray, says Ellen. Ellen, thank you.
Hey, y'all.
I don't know if anyone's ever said hip, hip, hooray for me. How about you?
It just did for me, and I'm really excited about it.
Thank you, Ellen. That was really nice of you. And we are coming to you from YouTube only. So thank you to I saw a Facebook convert. You see that?
I did.
I saw one lady who goes, it's nice being here in this green room. I'm a Facebook convert. I'm going to share something with you, and I'm going to go ahead and share it with a whole bunch of people over here also. Not that anyone really cares or anyone, it doesn't really matter, but it does matter.
Wait, you're sharing it with me?
No, I'm going to share a stat with you.
Oh, I'm going to turn off the ice machine.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. I'll share a stat. You know what? I probably should keep it a happy place right now, shouldn't I? Can we just keep it a happy place? And could you also move that blue comforter over here that we put there, because sometimes when we watch TV at night, we like to get cozy. However, we don't like you all to know that we're getting cozy on the couch. We
don't want you to know we actually live here.
I only live here like 4 days a week. I also sleep some of my days of the week over at the other property where I babysit a big old Belgian draft rescue and his sidekick, Rita. And of course, now we have one heck of a bull who's named Chuck. And then a whole bunch of feisty little heifers, longhorns. And then there's some moms and some babies. And I really enjoy hanging out with them over there. But I'm here tonight with you all. And it feels like I've been away. It feels like I've not been here for a Sanctuary Sunday in a while. What was going on last week, Jamie, that kept me away? I'm sure I was busy doing something.
Football.
It was football. And my team did not win. But it's okay, because you know what? That's the way life goes. Sometimes.
What does your shirt say?
This is my Real Men Snuggle Goats.
Oh.
I don't snuggle a lot of goats. I have snuggled some. Who's been your favorite of all time goat? And then let's see if you all can name mine. So let's put some choices out there, okay? So what you need to do is, before we're going to talk about Jamie first. We'll talk about Jamie first. How well do you know this girl? Get that pen and paper and write down 4 names. And one of those has to be the one that you're thinking about as your favorite. I will put those 4 here on the bottom of your screen so you can see. I'm gonna turn this to mine so I can type.
Just 4?
Just 4. Now remember, this is not your favorite goat of all time, but the goat that you really have had the most connection with, the most, just something special about this goat as far as cuddling, loving, all of those kind of things. Now, you guys are probably going to just immediately guess the most iconic animals we've had. And we've had some very iconic goats. I
gotta be honest, I can't pick between 2 of these.
We've had some very iconic goats. Okay, so I'm going to type the 4 that she put. Now, Jamie's going to tell us at one point why she chose who she chose. And then I'm going to type them in right here first. And then, and now listen, you all are going to have to wait and see what Jamie says there. Okay, so those are the 4 names that Jamie has listed as 4 of some of her favorites. But which of those 4 is her all-time favorite? And I'm wondering why you're going to say why you feel. A lot of people are saying Starla. And I'm going to tell you right now that you are so very wrong. It is not Starla. I'm sorry to give away. So now I've just taken it from 4 to 3.
Who do you think it is?
Well, it's not Starla, because Starla has driven you nuts. Starla.
It doesn't mean I don't love her.
No, I know that you love her, but you don't love on her. You don't just like look and fall. You don't melt over Starla. You don't melt. Your heart does not melt over Starla. Okay, it doesn't. Man, there's a lot of people going different directions over here. So I put the 4 that Jamie would like you to guess from on the bottom. She put Mr. Huck, Mr. Ringo, our sweet Starla, and of course, Journey. So Jamie's going to fill us in on why she chose who she chose. And she can talk about all 4 if she wants to, what she likes about all of them and whatever else. And that's fine. But just know that the reason that we prompted that is because I'm wearing this shirt that says Real Men Snuggle Goats.
But tell me who you think that I pick.
Oh, okay. So look that way, or I will look this way. You circle one of them and tell me when you're ready.
I'm not going to circle it. I want you to tell me what you think.
Well, the thing is, I don't want you to change it based on what I say.
Okay,
Because
go ahead.
sometimes people do that.
Go ahead.
Okay, I think that you probably chose Mr. Huck. Let's see your paper. Journey. Okay.
So
Well,
to be honest with you, it was a tie between Huck and Journey. And it was very hard to pick because Mr. Huck was the first baby ever. And Mr. Huck had 9 lives. I'll just say that. Mr. Huck, we pulled Mr. Huck out of so many things. And there was something magical. I'm going to cry. There's something magical and special about that goat.
yeah. Tell me about what was magical and special about him, and I'll just put my arm around you like I'm Fonzie from Happy Days.
I can't even say
Or
it.
Joey from Friends. How you doing? I'm
mama,
trying to be romantic. I have bad shoulders, y'all. I'm trying to be romantic. I have bad shoulders. Even this is killing me, isn't it? Tell them.
It is.
Even this is killing me, but I'm trying.
Huck lost his mom on the day he was born. And it never, you would never know that. You would never know that until he got older and his little immune system just couldn't keep up with what happens to goats.
He was sickly his entire life.
And he was just he persevered over everything, all the time. And he befriended those that had no friends. So he was extremely special.
And there were times when he was a loner. He was all by himself. And then I think if I can jump in here on this same topic, we're not going to do it for me too. We're just going to stick with Jamie's. But if I would like to talk about Mr. Huck as well. One thing that was so special about Mr. Huck, and I think one of the neatest moments that I ever experienced with the goat was when Mr. Huck had gotten down. And Mr. Huck, I'm sorry, my arm cannot do that. And Mr. Huck on his own decided that enough is enough. I've lived a good life. I fought a good fight and I'm done. And if you don't know about goats, friends, I'm going to tell you something that could be quite disturbing. But goats, when they know that their time is done, will literally walk off to a shed, to a corner of a building, to the base of a tree, a stump, and they'll put their head in that corner and they'll sit there. They'll stop eating, they'll stop drinking, and they will stand there and eventually lay there and they'll die. They give up. They give up. Goats and sheep are known for that. Okay. That's why they say sometimes it's like leading a lamb to slaughter. It's just they have no will to live if they ever get down. And so sometimes the human, a caring human, has to really work extremely hard to get your goat to live if in fact that goat has given up the will to live. So what we noticed when we brought Mr. Huck and his friends here to the property, he would have good days and bad days. Like Jamie said, he never really had a really strong immune system. And so his health was always up and down. Sometimes he would look like he was just like starving.
Yeah, sometimes it looked like he was on death's door and all of his hair was falling out. And we were doing everything we could. And then all of a sudden he would make this magical turn and it was incredible.
So one day I noticed that Mr. Huck had taken himself to the corner and he was not leaving that corner. And we could not find a way to get him to eat. We could not find a way to get him to drink. We could not find a way to get him to live. And so I thought I was going to try something. I was going to try an experiment. And what I did was I took the bell. You remember the bell?
Mhm.
I took the bell. And for anyone that has been around long enough, they know this story. I took the bell and I put the bell around Mr. Huck's neck. And it seemed like an instant transformation. If you don't know, goats have a leader, and the leader wears the bell. Now, at the time, Ringo was not here. He was over at the sanctuary there in Plum Grove because he was having a hard time on our heels back and forth. So we took Mr. Huck back to the Plum Grove property, leaving most of our goats here. And then everyone assumed that Lenny, who's the strongest, the best looking, just a really man amongst men, Lenny, everyone assumed that Lenny would get the bell. But the day that I took that bell off of Ringo and we sent Ringo back to the Plum Grove property, and I had to pick a new leader, we chose Mr. Huck. And that wasn't because we thought that Mr. Huck was really the strongest or the bravest or anything else, but we knew that Mr. Huck needed a will to live. He needed something to help him push through whatever he was going through. And I'll tell you what, it did. It made him into a warrior. It made Mr. Huck begin to walk around with pride. He began to
His health came back. His fur came back. He was rejuvenated in a way that it was a brand new Huck. And he took ownership of that role. And it was incredible and powerful to watch. And now I feel bad because I chose Journey, but to be real with you, they're tied.
We could tell 4 amazing stories.
That's what I'm saying. Like these 4 stories are so. I know that Lester's like, I know you didn't pick Starla, but
I could tell. But let's finish about Huck first, then we'll move on. But let's just go ahead and finish the story of Huck. Huck became such a great leader that, what we would do is I would open up the gate that goes down towards the back along the river. And I would do that for the goats every day and give them a place to go down and forage.
We were in a drought.
Everyone needs to know that goats prefer to forage over graze anyway. They'll do both, but they need more foraging than what they do grazing. Okay. So we allowed the goats to go forage. Now I'm going to get emotional. One afternoon, I had gone out to feed, and I always called the goats, and they all come a running. And I don't know if I was on a live or on a video, I forgot, but we noticed that Mr. Huck was not with them, and that was very bizarre. Like, where's Mr. Huck? Why is he not here? And so I go ahead and put all the food out for the goats, and they all begin to eat here in their pasture. And I take the side-by-side and I begin to drive down the hill going down towards the river. And I met Mr. Huck walking up. And friends, he was beaten and battered. He had been attacked, obviously, at some point in the day by a coyote, or maybe coyotes plural. And knowing what a goat leader does is the most amazing thing ever. He chose to put himself between the danger and the rest of the herd. And that allowed the herd, including lots of our baby goats, to make themselves back up the hill. And they found themselves back to the safety of their paddock. And Mr. Huck stood there, he stood his ground, and he attempted to fight off the coyotes, until at some point he finally managed to he finally freed himself from the coyotes. And you guys who've been around for a while, you remember that video. It was the most horrible thing. And it was already evening time. We brought Huck up. We could not get a vet appointment. And then just real fast, if you don't know how country life is, we don't have the 24-hour vets for animals like goats, okay? You guys in the city don't understand some things about country. So if you say, you should have rushed him to the vet, yeah, I would have loved to if we had a vet who was open who would have taken him. So my plan was we doctored him up good and tried to, you weren't even here, were you?
I was
traveling.
on my way home.
I doctored him up the best that I could, and the biggest mistake of my life when it comes to animals is I thought that Mr. Huck would probably do better without having to compete for food with the other goats. And so on that particular night, I put Mr. Huck in a paddock by himself. And my only reasoning to do that was so that Mr. Huck could have all the water he wanted, eat whatever he wanted to eat, and there would be no competition from the other, however many goats that we had here. And if lo and behold, that same evening, it was night evening, if those same coyotes did not come back again to finish off what they started. And we have a video, I don't remember the name of it, and I sure don't want to listen to it, but I ran with my cell phone in hand when I began to hear the dogs barking, and I walked out to check, and Mr. Huck was screaming, and the dogs were barking, and the coyotes were yapping and just yapping and yapping. And at that point, we had Tex here, our big bull, Tex, in a different pasture. But even Tex was like bellowing and screaming, trying to get help. And I ran over, and we were able to get the coyotes to leave him alone. But at that point, he was way too far gone, friends. He was way too far gone. And at that point, we had to make the decision to go ahead and put him out of his misery. One of the hardest things we ever had to do. And I kicked myself in the butt so long after that. We lost thousands of people off the page because they hated me so much. They hated me for that. And I just didn't think, I did not think. Sometimes, like Mr. Rick says, you don't know what you don't know. And I just never thought that those coyotes would make their way back up this hill. We've seen them a few times down along the river, but they've never come up this hill until then. You do live and you learn, like somebody said. A month or two later, we had my friend Sean. His channel is called Keeping It Dutch. He made the long drive from Oklahoma, and he and I did go out and we lured those coyotes up. And
it was only like a week later.
Was it a week later?
Mm-hmm.
We lured those coyotes up, and we did take care of them. So they have gone since to the sweet by and by where coyotes go when they're no longer with us. But it was already too late. We lost an amazing
That was a hard
friend in Mr. Huck. And then maybe what I'll do is, sometimes on the weekends I replay oldies but goodies. I'll tell you what, there's a video out there that is so gosh darn powerful, because we went back to the river a week later, but of course I would go with the goats now. And I remember the day that we had his funeral. We decided to cremate, but we had a like the police do, a roll call. And I don't know what the policemen and the firemen, what they call that. But it was a beautiful moment where we called the roll, and there was no answer from our wonderful Mr. Huck. And that
was a hard loss.
That was a hard loss. That was a very, very hard loss. Roll call. I don't think they call it the roll call. Some people are saying the last call. Maybe it's called the last call. Final call. But you know what I'm talking about. Whenever a first responder, or maybe, I don't know who.
End of watch.
End of watch. That's what it's called, the end of watch, where someone's about to retire maybe, or someone is lost in the line of duty, whatever, and they'll, Patrolman Adams, dispatch, calling Patrolman Adams. Patrolman Jeffrey Adams. And when you don't get that return, and we did that in honor of a hero. I'm about to just lose it. We did that in honor of a real hero in Mr. Huck. So, yeah, we learned a lot from that. And boy, that was tough. Why did you choose Journey? You want to keep talking? We change the subject.
Man, I'd like to change the subject.
We should. Why did I wear this shirt tonight? Gosh darn it.
For those that didn't know Journey, she was born with defects that no one thought she could live through.
Wow, she sure did.
And I'm going to cry again. I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk. How do we even get here?
Do you want me to get a little snippet of Journey and play it for folks who don't know her story?
No, I think that it would be great to share her videos at some point in time.
So just know that if you are someone who's been around for a while, you know, or if you're new to the channel, we've been blessed to run across new people here and there, and there's so much of our journey.
That
No,
was a lot about why we named her
there's
that.
so much of our story that a lot of people don't know that has got us where we are now, who has helped us climb the ranks in social media and get the following of the Facebook and YouTube channel going, and allow the family members to jump on board. What, babe?
I think that I was going to say though that like I think that we forget that not everybody knows those pieces of the story.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
For us, they were part of it, and we go out and share our days today of just as today, but to know a lot of those pieces those are big parts of our hearts. Those are big parts of why we do what we do. They're big parts of why I can come on a live on Sanctuary Sunday and talk about favorite goats and ball my eyes
I'm
out.
actually squeezing her knee right now, but not in a mean way, in a supportive kind of a way.
But it's not, farm life is not all sunshine and rainbows, and sometimes it makes you feel everything all at once. I was so mad after Huck passed away. So mad. Not mad at Lester, just mad.
You were one of the thousands who were about to leave me. You were going to leave me too.
That's not true.
Everyone else left me. I wouldn't blame you.
No, I was mad at the world after that one. And I don't mean to come on here and cry. Like, I had no intention of coming on here and crying tonight. Didn't even have that in me tonight. But some things or some chapters of your life like will always, strike that chord, and that's definitely one of them.
I just think it's, we try to remind folks all the time that life for all of us, it's not really a Walt Disney production. There's not really a fairy tale. You can try to make a fairy tale out of your story, and you have wonderful days, and we do, y'all. We have so many beautiful stories that we love to share, but like everyone always, like we remind you, it's not always beautiful. But we can segue, if you want to, real easily into something that probably is happening right now with Voodoo, that I know has you concerned and upset and scared and not very uncertain. But no, just a real fast. Ringo and Starla are alive and well.
Totally fine. You can remove that comment. People are probably super confused as to why I'm crying, and Ringo's name is up there with two other goats that have passed.
Ringo and Starla are fine and well.
Totally fine.
We were just talking about Jamie's favorite goats.
And it all stemmed from your stupid Steinmetz shirt.
And it all came from this wonderful t-shirt that I was gifted from the Steinmetz family. Thank you, Steinmetz family. But we'll talk about Voodoo. Go ahead.
Voodoo is sick. Voodoo is in a laminitis flare, and what that means is his feet hurt. It happens a lot to horses that are older, or maybe have a metabolic syndrome, or just are certain breeds and certain genetics make them prone to it. There is it's called the lamina. It's a piece of almost like cartilage that's between their. It's between their.
Jamie's a great artist. When she's supposed to be working, she's usually doodling, and I go look at her doodling book, which is actually her workbook, and all I see is doodling.
All right. It's not that great. You'll see.
It's actually pretty good.
This is a horse hoof, okay? These are bones.
Move it closer, though.
This is a leg, and this is the hoof, and I drew the bones inside. This is the leg bone, and this is part of the hoof bone. This line right here is the lamina between, and sometimes it can get thin if they've eaten too much sugar or if they've had injury, and this bone starts to touch this bone, which makes this super hot and super painful. So Voodoo is in a laminitis flare. He has had one before, but I don't think he's ever had one this bad. He's very unsteady on his feet. And we decided to bring him to the dry lot or the infirmary or the alpaca pasture. And we did a huge pasture shuffle today. And as much as I know that that's the right thing to do for making sure that I can tell exactly what he's eating and reducing the sugar and putting him right in front of water and all of those things, the stress level that it is causing is actually now just as equal of concern as the laminitis, because a horse that's stressed will potentially get colic, which is a stomach issue, and it can cause death.
He's stressed because he's
stressed
away
because
from
he's
the
away.
other horses, and he's not even in vision view. He's over here where the alpacas used to stay, so has a shop that blocks his view from the other horses.
It's also where he came home from the hospital from and was put into. So I am confident that his memories of those times are not so wonderful and great either. Now, Ivy is with him, and she is not happy about it either. She didn't want to come. Like, that was a whole fiasco. I did not push her, shove her, anything like that. I lured her with freaking muffins, and she came, but she's not happy about it. They don't want to be away from their herd. So Voodoo today is over there stressing, pacing, screaming for everybody, and in a drenched sweat. Now, I know that some of it, his meds, could be causing him to be able to sweat faster, and the fact that it was 70 degrees today and he has a winter coat, all of those things. But the stress levels matter just as much as his laminitis. And in a horse's body, they need to have no stress for anything to heal. So I'm in a bit of a stress as well, I guess, because I have to like find the balance, and it's either like move Voodoo back to the pasture and stop feeding anyone. Everybody switches to an all hay diet and no alfalfa, no grains, no supplements, anything else. And then I'm going to have angry horses. Or,
hey, babe, address the muffins, because not everyone, but there's some lady who's screaming at me for giving the muffins.
Oh, the muffins are everybody loves the muffins. everybody loves the muffins, and they're a great motivator.
But I think that she's trying to say that I caused that from giving him muffins.
No, you never gave Voodoo any muffins.
That's where she's going.
No,
and now
Voodoo's not had muffins. Ivy is who got muffins.
Careful, lady, careful.
Yeah, Voodoo hasn't had any muffins. Voodoo ate spring grass and ate a lot of alfalfa during the freeze. And to be honest, it doesn't just have to be caused by diet. It could be the fact that during the freeze, he also stood inside the barn in the stalls for longer than normal as well, which caused, this sounds crazy, horses will pick and choose which legs that they put pressure on. So if their front feet hurt, they'll put a lot of pressure on their back feet. And Voodoo is no spring chicken and has joint issues and is very stiff. And the last time Courtney was here, she called out like how stiff he was and how weird he was standing. Sometimes it's just like a tiny bit of diet change that causes that sugar to do things, but it's the stress and the way that they're standing as well that can cause flare-ups of things that they're prone to. So it happens all the time. It happens a lot. We just have to like try our best to mitigate it and to do everything to make him comfortable. Today, I was hosing down his feet and putting cold water on his feet, and he loved it. So I will be icing his feet over the next couple days.
And then I'm not trying to be defensive, but I just want to remind people that we know all about sugar issues with horses, and some horses are a lot more prone to issues than others. We know that Voodoo is very prone to sugar issues, which is why we did not plant ryegrass seed in his pasture.
Yeah.
If you haven't noticed, we have one pasture that's beautiful and green, and the other one is dry and wintry looking. And that's because there's no ryegrass growing, because did not want him to have the sugary grasses. So you don't need to point fingers at
Voodoo can get fat on air. Voodoo and I share things in life, and that is one of them. And it's sad because everybody else has a normal metabolism and they can take the same amount of food they've always eaten. But Voodoo, any change in anything can just fluctuate things, and it's sadly very common.
Thank you, Bonnie. Vu had problems with his hoofs way before muffins were ever introduced.
Yeah.
I'm not laughing at Vu. I'm just laughing in the fact that sometimes people just need to blame somebody. And so now tonight it's me because I've been introduced to the muffin. I'm the muffin man.
No, Voodoo was like stalling himself. So he was putting himself in the barn, in the hay barn where he was standing on hay, or in the loafing shed where he was standing on hay. What was happening though is that he was also sneaking out after everybody ate to eat the leftovers of the alfalfa. And Dr. Cochran was like, hey, if you want to make this get better faster, remove the alfalfa from his diet. So dry lot him and feed him only dry hay until we can get through this and, let his body heal a little bit.
Have you made the video about Dr. Cochran coming out yet? Because that was only a couple of days ago. What day was that? Wednesday?
Wednesday, yeah. I did, but I didn't talk about Voodoo in it.
So Dr. Cochran was just here on Wednesday. So I'm just trying to let you know, for the folks who are screaming about a vet. He's seen a vet. He has seen a vet.
I FaceTime and talk to Dr. Cochran every day this week and weekend. In fact, this morning even I was like, here's this and here's this and I'm doing this, and we're in each other's pockets as far as discussions about what's going on. I promise you that.
Vu has had a difficult year. I will agree with that comment.
Keep in mind that trauma that he went through is also why his body's having flare-up reactions to things, because that injury aged him greatly. And no matter how much we think that the wound is healed, there's still a lot of healing that his body's having to do from that. That was a severe injury. So all of this is connected, and horses are so giant but so fragile at the same time. And I'm going to do everything I can to get him better. Just know that it's a pretty heightened stress time, and we're trying to work through each little piece of it.
Yeah.
So much for not a heavy life.
It's like that sometimes. Next weekend is Super Bowl Sunday. So I cannot guarantee that I'll be able to even be watching, and I don't even know if we should even have a Sunday live.
Maybe we'll just go live in the morning and have coffee.
Coffee, maybe not live.
Yeah.
Because we would like to host our sons. My son's, Jamie's son, works back in Illinois, but both of my boys will be watching the Super Bowl, and we're going to hopefully have them over here for our own little Super Bowl party, just a few of us. And I don't think it is going to work out where we're going to be able to go live next Sunday. I'm just trying to change the subject. You do realize that, right?
Yeah.
This week we have visitors coming into town.
Tomorrow we have visitors coming to town. So Marcy and Crandall from the Eldridge fam are visiting tomorrow. I don't know what time yet, which has me a little bit like on edge because not everything is done or ready yet. In fact, I also just realized that I still have to place a grocery order that you're going to have to pick up for me. Whoopsie. And
tomorrow, a busy day for me too. And I'm going to,
yeah, maybe I can get it delivered and I can go chase them down the road. Okay. No. So my intentions are to hopefully cook dinner for them and hang out, show them around. They haven't seen jail north or south. I am working as well. So Lester gets part of the entertainment on his own tomorrow. And we'll kind of just play it by ear, but I am excited to see them. It's with the last time we saw them, Marcy was pregnant with twins, if you remember.
I remember.
And I think those twins are 2 years old.
But the kids are not coming, right?
No.
Just Crandall and Marcy.
Yeah, they are celebrating their 5-year anniversary and they went on a trip.
Oh, a 5-year anniversary. And they're going to spend it with us. Great. Well, if they are having any marital issues Everyone knows from watching our friend Jeff and his wife, he spent one night over at the JL Motel and they ended up rekindling a troubled
relationship.
marriage. Yes. So it doesn't take much. So I'll talk to Crandall, I guess, and say,
I think they're
hey,
fine.
you need to stay at the JL Motel? I got you, buddy. I got you. And maybe I'll give him some advice, drive him around on the side by side, whatever it takes.
Poor Crandall. Poor Crandall. That's all I'm going to say is poor Crandall. All I remember, so a funny story that I remember about Crandall is we were watching videos after they came and they built our chicken coop and they made the cutest little Western town for Sheriff Nate and all of that. I remember watching a video, Lester and I were watching it one day, and Crandall took a water jug cooler and tied it to the wheel of their truck because their washing machine was broken. So he was going to wash clothes in this cooler. And he was wearing an I'm a Survivor hat or Longhorn Lester's, one of those two.
I don't know, but that was probably one of the dumbest things I've ever seen on the internet. It was a genius idea. Didn't work, but poor Marcy, like Jamie said, their washer had gone out. And she knows that a washer has a spin cycle. So Crandall's like, I can fix that. So he
Crandall
takes,
can fix so many things.
he puts her wet clothes that she had to hand wash into a cooler, ties it, straps it, chains it somehow to the rim of his truck, and then hauls ass down the driveway, spinning. But in all of that, the lid pops open and all of Marcy's clean clothes, probably panties, bras, socks, and the whole works goes flying across the pasture, and they had a dirt driveway. So I sit there and I says, why in the world?
But hold on, he had one of your hats on, which no one else had really at that time. And I just know that Lester either made a comment or messaged him and says, that was the dumbest thing ever. Why are you wearing my hat? Like,
why you gotta wear my hat when you make a fool of yourself?
Do you know what's crazy is I've seen other people do videos like that, but they're making ice cream in the cooler like that. You know how you make homemade ice cream and you have to stir the ice around or whatever. So people are doing that same thing, but they're driving and the ice cream is in that. I've seen people shake up paint that way. I've seen so many people, and I feel like we saw it first at the almost washing machine.
So Crandall has started something.
Yeah.
That's catching on. Not, if you're going to do it right and make sure that thing is latched and sealed. You don't want to lose all of your clean clothes across the pasture.
Oh, it was something else.
Crandall's not doing a project for us. I do believe he's going to work with my nephew, Jake, right?
I don't know what they're doing. I know that they have plans to meet up. I have no idea what that entails.
We will let Jake and Crandall tell that part of the story. We will just say that we're going to be hosting he and Marcy overnight tomorrow night.
Yeah. But I can't wait to ask Marcy like what it felt like to take a break from her boys, which I'm sure she misses them greatly, but she is the most patient mother. She has 3 boys under the age of 5, twins. And I feel so terrible because they're sick a lot and their videos are like daily vlogs, and sometimes it's very loud in their house, but she's like the most patient person. It's unbelievable. So I can't wait to ask her questions and kind of, hear about her days and that type of thing.
Today I did go to visit my mom. I swung by Plum Grove. I got hay on the trailer and went by and hung out with mom for an hour or so. And she made me take a very large bowl. She had a craving, and I hope I'm not giving away anyone else's content. But what we normally do when someone has a birthday, they can tell whoever's going to host it what they are in the mood for. And this morning, my mom woke up craving large lima beans, big old lima beans. You know lima beans? Lima.
Yeah.
And cornbread. So Sister Kim, that's my sister who's not of the sisterhood, she was going to cook. So she did. She made lima beans, white rice, and cornbread. And that's what my mom craved for her birthday meal. And so
What's the difference between a large lima bean and a lima bean? There really is a difference?
I'm I don't know if there's an actual taste difference, but one is large, and I got
Really?
large. Yeah. I got large. Now I'll tell you something, and this may grow some people out. I don't know what your preferences are with taste, but I've always liked lima beans. But I like my lima beans cooked with, not mixed, but with macaroni and cheese. So when my mom said today that she's doing lima beans for her birthday, I'm like, with mac and cheese? She goes, no, white rice, which is fine. It's just not mac and cheese. And I just like lima beans with macaroni and cheese.
I can
don't
make you
know.
macaroni and cheese. I can eat
I
some
know you
macaroni and
can.
cheese.
A couple of nights ago, we were watching TV here. It was like midnight on Friday. And by midnight on a Friday, I'm still wide awake. Jamie is not. Jamie's already fallen asleep 3 or 4 times. But
I sat still.
we were watching a movie, and a commercial come on, and an ad. Okay, ads are a part of life, y'all. For the lady who keeps saying, I'm tired of seeing ads. I've already seen 3. Ads are a part of life. We don't scream and holler at Netflix when an ad pops up. We just know that's how they have to make their money. And so an ad pops up, and it shows this lady eating pancakes. I mean, she's making some like Aunt Jemima pancakes. I don't mean in a toaster oven already made where you pop them into the toaster, Lego my ego. I don't mean that kind of stuff. I mean, she's actually making pancakes. And I'm like, God, those look good. And Jamie's like, eyes go, those do look good. I can make some.
And Lester goes, you don't know how to make pancakes. I'm like, excuse
I
me.
make pancakes. I'm sorry. I've never seen this girl make pancakes ever.
Doesn't pay attention. Made them about a few weeks ago right here. Also used them in the waffle maker that I bought for Christmas, and made pancakes for the boys out in the RV over Christmas break, everything. And Lester's like, you don't make pancakes. Those are the kind you just pop in the toaster. I'm like, no.
The ones that you've sent me out to give to the boys, I had to put them in the toaster oven first and toast them or microwave them.
Those are like when we don't have time, or they sleep till 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
So I'm not just making that up.
No, those have happened. We do own those.
Okay, well, I'm not saying that you don't know how to make pancakes.
But I can make a mean pancake.
Well, I'm excited about the day that you decide to make us pancakes.
I hope Marcy and Crandall like breakfast for dinner, because now we're having them tomorrow night.
We're gonna have pancakes tomorrow night.
Maybe.
Okay, well,
just never know.
But no, this is like homemade pancakes, and they look so good. Now, listen, I don't know if some people are going to say that like buying the box of Aunt Jemima where you mix the eggs and you mix the little, that's still homemade, right? That's what I'm talking about.
The complete is still homemade, where you just add water. That's still homemade.
No, I don't like those kind. I'm sorry. I should have told you. I do not like those. I remember those, but I like
How
the
do
kind.
you know you don't like those?
Okay, because I know that okay, so once again, life only started when you met me. You forget that I had a life before I ever knew you.
I've never forgotten that.
Well, then in my lifetime, at some point in my 40 years before I met you, I would make pancakes, and I would make shapes with my pancakes. So, for example, I used to be the waiter for all of my nephews and my niece. You don't know the story?
I know the story. And
so what I would do is I would come out. I'm about to sneeze. That's why I'm keep getting ready to turn.
I thought you were getting emotional about pancakes.
I'm not emotional about pancakes. I'm going to sneeze. And so I was blessed to raise, or at least have a hand in raising, a lot of my nephews and my niece. I was the fun house. And so, yes, it's true that I've told the story of ramen noodle, because they would come over sometimes for days at a time and never go home. So it wasn't just lunch I was preparing for them. It was also breakfast and dinner. And so for breakfast, they all liked pancakes. But during those days, I don't think they had like freezer
probably not
pancakes. So I had to actually make them. So I would always go and I would buy the Aunt Jemima or whatever the brand of pancake. And then when they came out with the one where you only have to put water, I'm like, oh, my life just got a lot easier. No more of the eggs and all that stuff. And however, I never thought they tasted as good. Never. So I would put brown cinnamon sugar in my pancakes. I would mix a little bit of vanilla extract in the pancakes. I had fun with pancakes. But the most fun I had with them was the shapes that I would draw, because I had a skillet, one of those long skillets. And
You
so
mean a griddle?
a griddle, okay. And so what I would do is I would do all the batter in the kind of thing that you can mixer and pour. It has like a little pour thing.
Yeah.
And so I would literally like make the shape of a cat head. It was like ears, and a round face, and one would get a cat. And so literally when Donald Trump says they're eating the cats and the dogs, we used to eat the cats and the dogs. We would eat the cats and the dogs. In Lester's house, the fun house, I would make pancakes of cats and dogs, and I would serve them that way. And I would make little dog with little tails. Listen, I could pour. So the way I would make the cats is really stupid. Don't laugh, but I could literally pour. And then I would have little legs like this. Little legs. I don't have enough paper. So I could make that right over there. I could pour a pancake.
I think you're about to be challenged on this, and I do believe that
I would
you're
love
cooking
that.
dinner tomorrow
I would
night.
love that. Now, guys, this was an entire pancake. And if it did not come out right in the batter, once it gets hard enough, I would take my spatula and I would start kind of chopping the ends around it. So somebody would get that part of the pancake, and I had to eat all the little scrappy parts that no one else wanted. So I would make pancakes, but I would get all the scrappy parts. Now, that's the way my little cat would look. That was a really good cat. And so whenever I came out as the waiter, and I would always carry this little dish towel around my arm, and I would say, "What would you like, madam, to bring in? Would you like dog or cat?" And it was fun for us. We never thought about it like the Haitians eating our dogs and our cats. We thought that we're going to eat dog and cat for pancakes. And so we just had fun with it. It was not political. It was just that at Lester's house for breakfast, you eat dogs and cats. And so I would take the orders and I would go to the kitchen and I would prepare them dogs or cats. And it was so fun.
Sounds like you're cooking this week. That's all I'm saying.
Would you rather have a dog or a cat? Because I can do a good little dog too.
How about an alpaca?
That reminds me, I did make you an alpaca cake, which is almost the same concept. Jamie's very first birthday, I got her an alpaca. Annie, you all know Annie, the story of Annie. And so I was very familiar with baking. I was a great baker. I should have probably been a baker. And I chose to go a different route in life. But I made her a cake for her birthday. And I gave her the alpaca as an actual birthday rescue. And I made her an alpaca cake. And when you all see this, she's going to probably pull it up. You will see how wonderful of a baker I am. There you go. Put the phone a lot closer. That right there. Sorry about the candle. That's all I could find.
Hold on. I still have that candle. Or I did.
So that's a pretty smelly candle.
It's the only candle on Morrow Hill at that point in time because it was the year after Harvey.
All of my house was destroyed. Y'all have to remember that. I had nothing, okay? But I was able to find a way to make her an alpaca cake using one of those kinds of wax candles that you would have in the house for
country meadow scented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Yeah, that's an alpaca. So I'm gonna need you to break out your pancake special.
Bottom line, she's still here, y'all. She's still here. So no matter how horrible you may think I am, her life before me must have been a living hell. That's all I know. And I will say that, and I'll stick to it. No matter how horrible you all think I might be, the life before me must have been a living hell for this poor woman because she's still around. Okay.
It was the alpaca cake. There was a horse cake the next year. Do you remember that?
Linda's upset that we're eating dogs and cats. Linda, we ate the cats. Okay. Lester ate the cats. Lester ate the cats, Linda. It ain't nobody else eating dogs and cats. It's me.
Sounds like he's going to do it again this week on video.
I'm going to have Crandall and Marcy are going to join me. And I'm going to say, would you like a dog or a cat? We're eating dogs and cats this morning.
Ooh, I'll do it with eggs. You do it with pancakes.
You know, no matter what you say, I do believe that there's quite a few kiddos who are no longer kiddos, the Buddies and the Dustins and the Tonys and oh gosh, Ben and Elijah. And there's a lot of wonderful memories we have. Jake, God, I got a video of Jake. And we used to have wrestling matches. It was the funnest and the craziest time. And I'm going to be honest and tell you something. A lot of people might say, or they might wonder, how long were you divorced? And I will say 7 years, because it went 7 years between Ellie's mom and Lex's mom. 7 years is a long time. And you do know that a lot of the reason why I did not involve myself with anything serious was because of the kids that weren't even my kids. You do know that.
I didn't know.
Because I just, sometimes you have someone come over and all of a sudden none of the kids are allowed to come over because like Lester has company. Lester has company. No one can go over there. Lester has company. And I just saw the hurt on them. It's such hurt. And so, you know what? I would never allow myself to get too serious about anybody because I didn't want to ruin the poor kids. I wanted to make sure we keep on eating the dogs and the cats, y'all.
Oh my God. Can't wait to do it again.
Oh, Lord. One day we're going to have grandkids. And, it's funny because even though Xander doesn't talk much about ever moving to Texas, how much you want to bet that whenever they have their first child, he and Kendra, how much you want to bet the idea of living in Texas does not cross his mind a whole lot more than what it does now. Right now, it's real easy to live over there, away from mom, away from dad. You just got your own life, and you got your garage and your hangout and your friends, and you work and make your money, and you do your four-wheeler and all of your fun stuff. But when that kid gets introduced, and I would love to know from you all, how many of you guys have had a child once they have their kid either move back home? That happens a lot. A lot of moms will move back home when they have their kids, or a lot of grandparents, even though your actual child may choose to live away, you end up raising a lot of that kid.
I think a lot of people
would y'all admit that? Is that? I'm not trying to be mean, because my mom and dad they have Lex as much as I do. I love my son. I do. I would never turn down a moment to spend with Lex or LE. But the thing is, LE liked to spend time with me. Lex likes to be at my mom and dad's. And I'm like, why? Pawpaw makes me bacon. I'll make you bacon. Yeah, but Pawpaw does it different. Oh, I can't win.
Pawpaw has magic bacon. In fact, that's what we got Pawpaw for Christmas.
Yeah, 7 big old packs of bacon.
Yeah.
That's what Lex wanted to get Pawpaw for Christmas.
Yeah.
Packs of bacon.
He struggled to think of what to get him. And I looked at him like, what does he like to do? And he's like, cook bacon.
Cook bacon.
I'm like, well, then I think you should get him bacon. He goes, that's an excellent idea.
Yep.
That's what we got Pawpaw for Christmas.
But the thing is, Lex didn't grab 1 pack. He grabbed 7 packs. And guys, this is like those big packs. These are they're like this. This is how big that slab of bacon is.
Yeah, they're huge.
And so I think they were like $7 or $8 or $9, $14 each.
They're huge. Yeah.
There was so much bacon in there. And I don't know why Lex thought he had to have 7 of those.
It's probably all that was in stock.
Here's what I'm thinking. Lex probably's like, you know what? I'm going to be here 7 more days. I'll make sure that we have 1 entire slab of bacon for every day I'm going to be here for the rest of the holidays. I don't know what Lex's thought processes was, but Jamie sent him off to shop. And when he came back, he had his little bag, his little basket, and 7 packs of bacon.
Yeah.
Which is for Pawpaw, but really for himself.
Yeah.
What a smart kid.
Yeah. The gift that keeps on giving. Oh my gosh.
But my dad also enjoys cooking with him. And, I've said this before, and I'm going to tell you all this. I know my mom had her birthday today.
I think you forgot to tell that part of the bean story. Is it your mom's birthday?
It's
today?
My mom's birthday.
Yeah. And,
my mom's not getting any younger, y'all. And my dad's not getting any younger. And so I want to make sure that Lex, because LE is already, he's 25, but I really want to make sure that Lex has a really wonderful chance to really know both his Gigi and his Pawpaw, you know? And I mean, come on, we all hope that our family, our mom and dad will live to be, 100.
Yeah.
That would be wonderful. But the reality of it is parents don't, I mean, no one's guaranteed tomorrow.
No.
So I don't fight mom and dad I don't fight Lex whenever he wants to be at mom and dad's house. All I ask is that when I call you, you answer my call. When I text you, you text me back. Don't ever choose, your Xbox over talking to your mom or your dad. And his mom says the same thing. We make sure that he spends time with us, but we do all that we can. We give him his little basketball goal here. We have his soccer goal here. We try to find ways to accommodate. We play these board games here behind us. So when he's here, he's never bored. I mean, there's not a down moment when he's here. But if you sit there in the truck and say, hey, you want to go with dad? Man, could I go to G's? I'm like, oh, why? I guess it's bacon. I might have to learn to stop cooking cats and dogs and start making better bacon.
You better figure out the bacon situation.
I did shave today someone's asked a couple of times. I shaved, I cleaned up a little bit. It was getting bad, Jamie. It was getting real bad.
It was for y'all.
I did it for y'all. No, it was funny because Jamie likes it when I let my hair grow a little bit, and she loves to rub it.
I like it when he lets his hair on his head grow, not on his face.
Yeah.
I like the face. This is actually my preferred.
To me, it's a little bit too short, but anyway.
But I like when his hair grows out because I can run my fingers through it, and he has the neatest texture of hair. It's like super fine and soft, no matter like how like short it is. And yeah, I like it like that. And he shaved it.
But the thing is, I got to halfway done shaving and the razor went out on me. And I'm like, Jamie, I'm trying to feel around because normally we keep razors along the side of the tub. I'm in the bath and I could not feel a razor. I'm knocking all of her shampoos over and there's conditioners going everywhere. I'm feeling things floating all around me, but I can't open my eyes because I had soap in my eyes. I'm like, Jamie, I need razors. I need blades. So she screams, what color's the razor? I'm like, I can't see.
He can't open his eyes because there's soap on his head.
And so she walks in there like she's mad. And then she goes, here. And she plops down some razor blades.
I didn't know he wasn't going to rinse his head off and not look at them.
So I'm trying to feel around the tub.
He's like three blind mice here, feeling around, knocking things over.
So I'm still knocking stuff
helpless.
over. And then it was horrible.
And then he goes, he's like doing this. And I'm like, here, give it to me. I'll flip it out. And I change it. And I hand it back. He goes, did you just punk me out and not change it at all? Did you put the old one back on it? No.
Because sometimes she does. Y'all don't know the side of her that I know.
That's so horrible. That's not true.
Okay. Are you trying to say that you don't ever punk me and joke? I would not tell y'all half the stuff.
I would only do it if I could video it.
Well, maybe.
But what naked in the tub.
What I thought she had done, because I could not see, was take the razor blade out of my hand and say, here you go, and give it back with the same razor. Because when I went to do this over here, I felt like it was not cutting anything. And I'm like, Jamie, come on, I'm in a hurry here. And she wouldn't take me serious.
Well, he's like, and
I was making a bigger and bigger mess.
Like as he's doing, I wish I had things that I could knock over. As he's feeling, things are just like ka-chunk, ka-chunk, and like they're just flying everywhere. Like, oh my God, stop moving, just stop. So I'm like, give me your hand, and I put it in there,
and that's the whole thing.
I close his hand.
So what? No, but before she just plopped the razors down in the little container.
I didn't.
And how am I going to figure out which is the up and in? I don't know how to find the right. I'm just trying to take the razor, and I'm about to cut my finger off. I felt like.
Oh my God. It's a leg razor. It's not a straight razor.
To pop the old razor off was easy. But to put it into the other one without having your eyes was not easy. And you thought it was a fun thing.
Who doesn't just open his eyes? It's not even that much soap. You couldn't even see that there was any soap anymore.
If I had
gone. It was 10 minutes ago.
I don't want that all in my eyes, and it would burn. It wasn't. Here's the difference. if the roles had been reversed, how would I have done it so much differently?
Oh my God. Oh my God. How would you have done it so much differently? You take the razor to the shower, and that's where all 39 of them are, basically. And they never come back. And sometimes like, babe, can you bring me the razor? Oh yeah, I took it into the bathroom. I'll be right there as soon as I'm done with this video. And then he forgets. So guess who's going to bed with hairy legs that night? Because that's just it. Yeah.
Well, just so you all know, I am nice and shaved. I tried to clean up a little bit for our company. Feels a little bit naked. But
Hold on. You tried to clean up for the company?
Yeah.
Your face.
I shaved my head and I shaved everything.
Okay.
Why? What does it matter? I shaved under my neck. I trimmed everything. What does it matter?
It's fine. It's just that you tried to clean up your face, but you made a mess in the sink. That's all. For the company.
You're eating dog and cat tomorrow. You know that?
I'm having alpaca. That's what I want. Dang it.
I can make an alpaca. I'm going to challenge myself to do that. I'm also, in honor of my mom. Now, I can't do it tomorrow because we're going to have company, but I can't do it Tuesday because you have time out Tuesday.
Wait, I thought we were doing something special Tuesday. No?
I don't know.
Okay.
But one day this week, I want to do another cooking video. But I'm going to cook an old-time favorite that we used to make at our house. And I'm going to do it as close to the way that Mom would do it. And I think that you guys will enjoy this. I know that we've all grown up with different recipes. And what we used to do at our house, me and Mom talked about it today. We kind of talked about old times. Is that we didn't have much money. So Mom would kind of plan out the week and we would have like a menu. And then we would everyone knows about Taco Tuesday, but our Taco Tuesday was not probably the way tacos that you guys have. So what I'm going to do this week, I don't know what day exactly, but I'm going to have a taco day with you all. And I'm going to make tacos remembering all that I can from whenever my mom would make them when we were little and how she would make them.
Do I get to eat these tacos?
Yeah. Oh, you may not want any, but I got the recipe from my mom and there's not a whole lot to it, but I think you will enjoy it. I don't want to give it all away right now, but I am excited about doing that one day this week. So, and then you all are going to be here to watch and enjoy. So
it's going to be good.
All right. Well, listen, we've had you guys for an hour. Did you address anything you wanted to talk about at all?
I have an incredible video for tomorrow. I don't know what you have going on tomorrow, but I have an incredible video tomorrow that y'all must watch.
All of mine are incredible. I'm mostly excited about my newest kid video coming out tomorrow. I'm really embracing these kid videos, and I don't know why. And here's what I think it is, and you're going to think this is so dumb. But you all know how I told y'all I sometimes thrive on a challenge. I do. I like a challenge. I'm not saying that I'm not very happy and content with my life the way it is. God has really blessed me, and I'm so thankful for so many wonderful people to be, to go through life with, in all of you, I mean. And sometimes he throws a little wrench into your things, and the fact that we are having some issues with our Facebook has been a little bit of a wrench. We're trying to work ourselves around. And so I've been trying to find a way to hustle a little bit, side hustle, or you might call it take on a second job. And I've decided to go with making kid videos. I've talked with Jason at Cog Hill, and you know what? I'm thinking that I'm going to try that. And so I've actually made 3 videos now. I've already published 2. I'm on my 3rd, and I'm having a lot of fun doing this. So
I think it's deeper than that. And
do you?
So I made a pee-pat video of you today. I'm just going to give it all away. That's not my video tomorrow, but I pee-patted Lester. Pee-patting, if you're new here, is literally watching the other person do things out the window. It's spying
on somebody when they don't know you're watching them.
So I peep-patted Lester today, and I'm watching him make this kid video. And what I'm watching is someone who is living their passion and doesn't even recognize or
Don't
realize.
forget, I taught school
Hold
for
on, that's what
25 years.
That's what I'm getting at. Lester is a retired school teacher.
Not retired yet. I can retire this year. I will be old enough to retire this year. Right now, I'm not retired. I just don't teach because okay, just keep going.
He's a has-been school teacher. Is that better?
Yeah, I'm just
okay.
Okay. School teacher.
So he was a school teacher for 25 years, and he always talks about, or talked about when he was little, he wanted to become a teacher. He would play school, all of these things. And I'm watching him in these kid videos, and I'm peep-patting him outside creating it, and his animation and his passions are like exploding out of his pores, and he doesn't even realize it, because teaching really is like his heart, his soul, his motivators, and teaching kids in particular, and like diving backwards a little bit, and like starting at this level of the basics, and being able to show kids the magic in the simplicity of the work is like his heart and soul, and he doesn't even realize that that's what he's doing. So as much as he's saying that he loves a challenge, he does love a challenge, but he genuinely loves teaching kids and interacting with kids and showing kids things in this fashion. And I see it just like pouring out of him as he's doing it.
Well,
and it's really fun to watch this like newfound life that has like come out of nowhere.
Yeah. I want to talk about that, but real fast. Thank you, Miss Keisha. Guys, internet etiquette. That's just internet etiquette. You don't sit there on someone's live and try to get a bunch of people to follow you somewhere else. That's not cool. Thank you, Miss Keisha, for pointing it out. And if that keeps happening, just remove those comments. That's very kind. I will say, though, that here's the thing. Kids are so innocent, right? And they really and they truly do want to learn. And I can't think, talking about working with my nephews, I say working with, but, being there as a role model to them, many of which did not have a dad in their life. And then teaching school for so long, working with different age groups. And then even now, whenever Uriel brings little Isabel over here and you play, they're just so darn innocent, and their minds are open to so many things. And you realize that I can make a video possibly of me using the tractor to move hay. And in doing that, I'm just hopeful that kids will be as into seeing something new, something they've never seen before, or maybe they've never experienced, and just the joy of it. And I know some of you guys are, but many of you guys also are not, and you're very vocal in saying how miserably bored you are. And that, you know what? I'm not here to pick on you all. I'm just saying that I do have an interest in trying to find and connect with kiddos, and I think I can. But I guess only time will tell. And I've also said this. I know that Jake made a joke out of it. I encouraged Jamie to do a kids channel. I've encouraged Jake to do a kids channel. I've encouraged Brianne to do a kids channel, because I really do think that all of us can still maintain our adult channels of what farm life looks like, and you with your gardening and all your things. But I do think there's another world of an audience out there who has no idea what we do. So don't think I'm not trying to make someone else fall in this trap with me. I'm just curious how it's all going to work out. But no, tomorrow will be my third video, and it's going to be about feed stores and hay. And it's going to be some tractor driving, and it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be fun.
It is fun.
So I don't know. And then as far as the age group, I'm kind of feeling like my age group, I've talked about this so many times already, is probably going to be between 4 and 6, 4 to 8 is what I'm thinking that most people feel like I'm probably going to have more success at having the attention span and being able to have the vocabulary necessary to do farm type jobs. I don't want to say a cow goes moo. That's not really what I want to do. Anyway, I hope that you guys will enjoy those. And there's been people, this has been kind of encouraging. Folks who have told me that, you know what, I don't have grandkids or I don't have children or whatever anymore, but I watch them because I enjoy them. And I'm like, yes, triple D's. We've always liked the double dippers. Now we got the triple D's. Boom. Anyway, we do got to get off of this live at some point. You do know that, right?
We do.
How long you want to keep talking? Do you ever stop? I will just say thank you to everybody for being so supportive and for allowing us to explore and experiment and try to find ways. No one's ever got onto anybody for having a second job. And I appreciate you guys understanding that let's just try to look for a second job to help make the ends meet. And it's crazy the way in real life, when someone has two jobs, you would normally admire that about them for the hustle. And sometimes on social media, people don't admire. Okay, I get it. She didn't touch my knee. She whacked me with hers.
I didn't want to be like obvious and be like,
stop talking about it. Just make your damn videos and shut up.
you don't have to justify it. You just do it.
I'm just going to do it.
We love y'all. We hope you have a safe week, that you stay well. We are going to have some beautiful, stunning weather here this week, and that means that we're going to be out and about a lot. Like I said, I have a really big video tomorrow. I know that with the Eldridges coming, that there'll be some adventures to be had. And we're just really blessed that you choose us to spend your time with. And
look how handsome the Watsons look. How come we don't have pictures like that? We only got one.
It took 7.5 years to get that one.
You guys look great, Watson family. You guys look great. Thank you for all the triple D's. Oh, look here. Miss D. D. I love that. Thank you, y'all.
We love you all so very much. We hope you have a great week. Thank you for joining us on The Real Sanctuary Sunday, because I typed it in this time. We will catch you on the next video. Oh, wait. I'm not allowed.
Well, we always like to end it the same way it started.
We do.
And I like to always play comments as it's going off.
Good night, y'all.
Thank y'all. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. I promise you, okay?
Survivor. I'm a survivor. Who will be the ultimate survivor? Let's find out when you spend a day in our shoes. All you creators, our sanctuary's waiting. Who will win the title? Well, it could be you. Survivor. I'm a survivor.